Okay, so way back in the 10th of February 2023, Hogwarts Legacy was released via Avalanche Studios, and I remember thinking back then, wouldn't it be amazing if they brought out a version of this from Star Wars? And lo and behold, on June 2023, the guys over at Ubisoft actually announced Star Wars Outlaws, the new upcoming action-adventure game set in an open-world Star Wars universe developed by Massive Entertainment and published by Ubisoft under license by Lucasfilms Games, and the game takes place during the period between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. This game looks absolutely incredible. It looks like it's going to be really good, but it could go terribly wrong. Today we're going to be talking about everything that we know and whether it is something you guys should be putting on your to playlist for 2024. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on, it'd be greatly appreciated. And check out our sponsor Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favourite flavour is cherry vanilla, but you guys can catch an array of flavours via the link in the description. Now, with that being said, let's dive on in to some news inside of Star Wars. So Star Wars Outlaws could finally be the scoundrel sim that you've been dreaming of, as Ubisoft Massive's narrative director gives us a sneak peek of the galaxy's criminal underworld via a Kotaku article that was released around Tuesday this week. So when it comes to letting you embrace the murkier side of Mos Eisley, Star Wars games don't have the best track record, where 2018's Battlefront 2 promised to place you in the heart of an Imperial-focused story. It took all of our 4 missions for protagonist Iden Versio to defect to the rebellion. Now, as Disney delivers increasingly saccharine versions of a galaxy far, far away, Ubisoft is submerging players in the depths of the Outer Rim's seedy underbelly inside of Star Wars Outlaws. Now, announced in 2021, this slice of star-hopping space opera sidelines righteous Jedi and scowling Sith in favour of a less preachy protagonist. Shifting the focus away from the well-trod Imperial and Rebel conflict, Outlaws zooms in on the Star Wars criminal underworld, placing you in the dusty boots of hardened outlaw Kay Vess, someone less concerned with the fate of the galaxy and more about her next payday, a woman of my own bloody heart. Now, the director Navid Kavari actually stated, "We always knew we wanted to create an original scoundrel story. There was something exciting about looking at this universe from the perspective of a scoundrel like Kay, who has no experience with the Empire, Jedi, Rebellion, or the Sith." And for me, that seems like an absolutely amazing concept style. I think it's a game that we've really been looking for inside of the scene, and I think if anything's to go by, we could be looking at a second Hogwarts Legacy right here. The only issue is that it's being put up by Ubisoft, who, lo and behold, based on their previous titles, seem to only release 2 sorts of games. Yes, we know, Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. That's pretty much the be-all and end-all of that franchise. But when we start looking at other things that they have actually moved through, we do know that the creators of this have actually made The Division. Now, The Division, although started a little bit rocky, is a franchise and a gaming development team that I really, really do enjoy. I have had a lot of time inside of the original Division way back when, but we can see where this one's going to be going. Now, as Kay attempts one of the biggest heists of the galaxy has ever seen, Outlaws promises a rogues gallery of the meanest criminals to ever frequent a cantina. It's a certain flavour of the wider Star Wars fiction that video games rarely explore, with the first trailer calming any fears that Kay may secretly be a do-goody-good girl, from her screwing over a gnarling Aqualish in a game of Sabbath to incurring the wrath of the Empire by refusing to bribe an officer. It's not just the filmic post-processing effects that lend Ubisoft's depiction of Star Wars a welcome shade of grey. Now, Kavari actually states right here that this is a character who is just trying to get by stealing, outwitting, and conning folks. I would love for folks to play the game to really get a sense of what it might feel like to step into the underworld. Now, still, this isn't the first game trailer that's had gamers all hot and bothered about playing as a scoundrel. Outlaws feels strangely reminiscent of the playable Star Wars fantasy that we all got, Star Wars 1313, originally announced in 2013. LucasArts' bounty hunter outing explored the dingy depths of Coruscant before being cancelled following Disney's purchase of Star Wars. Naturally, Greedo-loving gamers have been pinning for the Lost project ever since. Now, Outlaws looks to carry over the rough and ready firefights of that ill-fated E3 demo suggested that Massive is using its experience with The Division to deliver a morally murky, Rogue One-esque take on Star Wars. As Kay sneaks and shoots her way through a contraband stuffed hangar, a Hollywood grain coat that's screen, with that scrappy hero sprinting, swinging, and eventually speed bikering her way across ominous, dusty landscapes, is refreshing and represents a glimpse of Star Wars that's a world away from the glistening white freighter corridors that so often define it. So what is the reason for all the betrayals, corruption, and villainy clogging up the digital atmosphere? Outlaws' seedy setting. Outlaws follows the Battle of Hoth at the time when the Empire is ruling the galaxy with an iron fist. Working closely with Lucasfilm to find the setting, he explains that the two companies eventually settled on the time period most rife with intergalactic dirtbaggery, the year between the Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedis. Now, the rebels are on the back foot, and while everyone is caught up and somewhat distracted by the ongoing civil unrest, there's a vacuum that creates the perfect opportunity for the underworld to rise and gain power out of sight of Imperial rule. Now, there is absolutely so much that you can do inside of this game, a galaxy of possibilities. Now, for all its 1313 aspirations, Outlaws chronically aligns more closely with the janky N64 gem shadow of the Empire. Still, Ubisoft's 2024 single-player adventure doesn't exist in a vacuum. Respawn's Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor has raised the bar for Star Wars games, yet Ubisoft Massive is leaning into its expertise in order to create a new kind of story, an intergalactic open-world jaunt. Focusing on the open-world aspect allowed us to build a deeply immersive Star Wars journey. We wanted to create a scoundrel who has never experienced anything like this before. She hasn't figured it all out yet and doesn't have all of the right answers all the time. I hope players will see a bit of themselves within Kay. Now, without Jedi abilities to rely on, Kay needs loyal companions to get her out of her tough scrapes. Throughout her adventure, you will be accompanied by the four-legged alien cutie, Nyx, and the chatty trench-coated commando droid ND5, yet try as I might to focus on Star Wars' playable future. Its high-focused nature can help but conjure up memories of another long-lost Star Wars game. The Jade Raymond and Amy Heinig-helmed Project Ragtag, which was purposed to be an Uncharted-like heist adventure. Now, inside of this massive open world aspect with loads of planets for you guys to actually explore and go and check out, there does seem to be some really cool things such as factions per se, or syndicates as they're called in this game. Space representatives, a super lucrative yet risky experience for any outlaw, and if you go off the beaten path, your willingness to explore will bring surprises as well. So you can go from taking on a contract to steal an Imperial shipment, but then get distracted on your speeder and head off into Toshara Savannah in search of an artifact, and the game will reward you curiosity. Arguably the most interesting aspect of Outlaws, however, though, is the fledgling outlaw Kay interacts with the criminal underworld. Now, players can use quests from each of the syndicates to manage Kay's reputation, which will impact the jobs that they offer and impact they'll have on throughout the story. Each player will have a different profile with each of the syndicates based on how they've interacted with them over the course of their journey. Now, Kay Vess is all too happy to pit these warring syndicates against each other, with players taking on quests from the likes of Jabba the Hutt. But the question is, will you become another of Jabba's reliable foot soldiers or scrim over for a fistful of credits? And this is something which I find absolutely incredible, and probably one of the bigger features inside of the game is that even though we've got the main storyline taking toll, these syndicates per se, and being able to explore and talk to all of these people and take on contracts to do certain things, screw people over, take some extra money, and do all that sort of stuff, it just opens up an absolutely ginormous Star Wars world that I never thought that we'd be able to witness. Now, when this was first announced in June 2023, everybody was skeptical. Not many people were really too excited about it, other than the known behold obvious Star Wars fans out there. But this game, as we get closer towards it and we start looking at what's actually behind it and avoiding the hype train, does look quite good. Now, it is being developed by Ubisoft, so there is a lot that can go wrong with it, so I don't want to get you guys overhyped, because realistically hype does make you stupid, and we don't want to get stupid here on the channel. So we're just going to say that this thing for right now seems quite interesting, with a relevant release date of March 2024, with it being the last month inside of the fiscal year. It's likely to release around Q1, maybe Q2 next year. I mean, this is something that I'm going to be keeping my eye on, and you're going to see a lot of here on the channel. It definitely seems like my sort of thing, and I'm interested to see where it goes. Now, unfortunately, that's all we got for today. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. And if you're here this far in the video, then make sure you put a star in the comment section below. It'd be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate all of your faces, but as always, up until the next time, I'll see you in the clouds.